And I said, the reason I feel like it's going to be an issue because the first time in my life, people that I know are having conversations with me about what's going on at the border. Whether it's, somebody I know who works at a parking garage in New York coming to me in tears, talking about, the crime that is in his neighborhood because the gangs that are coming over are, talking to activists in Chicago who are just upset because they feel like, these people are coming over and getting more access to resources than people who've been living on the South Side, homeless,
right.
are getting. That's just me listening to people. So when I get asked that question and I say yes, all of a sudden I'm on MSNBC with the headline, Charlemagne the God is spreading MAGA messaging. I'm like, these people aren't MAGA. This is just a regular, everyday working class person who's coming to me because they know I got a microphone and they're complaining. It's a national issue now. It was a national issue back in January, but for whatever reason, it was still labeled a political talking point. So if you weren't on one side of that issue, if you were on one side of that issue, you get labeled one thing. If you're on another side of that issue, you get labeled another thing. But now it's like everybody's having the same conversation. And guess what? If America knew how to take care of the least of us, it wouldn't even be a problem. If you're saying that you're a sanctuary city and you're saying, welcome, we'll take them. Okay. So now that they sent them here, now they're like, send them back. We don't have enough room for them. So what it makes it seem like the people is Republicans were always right on that issue and Democrats were wrong.
Right.
Like it's really just that simple to optics.
Inside Donald Trump's prison cell, the surroundings are like any other small enclosed space. The walls are gray concrete and a narrow cot with a thin mattress is the only piece of furniture. A tiny metal sink and toilet combo sit in one corner, while a small barred window allows a sliver of natural light to filter in. The sound of clanking bars echoes through the air as guards patrol the hallway outside.
What is...
President Trump is 76 years old. He will die in federal prison.
Trump spends his days pacing the limited floor space. The once powerful man now finds himself in a place of confinement.
This is how they were received by the Trump crowd.
Well, this was a bad idea. This entire thing was not a great idea. I get wanting to take advantage of cameras at this spectacle, but this had the impromptu feeling that most Trump rallies have, like sort of all over the place. We don't know where it's going. We don't know who's showing up. It could be Kid Rock or a cabinet member. You never know. And that's what happened here. You had an actor who's obviously very angry at Trump, but I don't know why his opinion would matter more than someone else. And then you have these two heroes who almost gave their lives on January 6th at the insurrection. It was a mismatch and a mixed message. And now this actor is in a position to have to defend these police officers. I just didn't get it. And surrogates are best when they have an important story to tell. And like I said, Robert De Niro's angry at Donald Trump. He's not a victim of Donald Trump's, right? He's going to be fine. There are lots of victims of Donald Trump's. And if I were Team Biden, I'd bring those people out to tell those stories. Harry Dunn and Michael Fanone, and add the fallen family of Brian Sicknick to that group. Those are victims of Trump. E. Jean Carroll is a victim of Donald Trump. Shay Moss is a victim of Donald Trump, an election worker in Georgia who was accused of election fraud. Her life was ruined because of the lies Donald Trump told. Trump's own voters who have had to hand over their own money to help stop the steal, and it's gone to offset his legal fees. There are millions of victims of Donald Trump. Robert De Niro isn't one. I would tell their stories.
Listen to the instructions, which suggests a little bit of a tip of the hat there. They've already seen, they have seen the instructions. And he's happy with them, right? So he said, listen to the instructions and use your common sense. And I have to say, following this all day, it's like, to me, again, not as a lawyer, it's, is what happened exactly what it appears to be?
Yes.
Based on the testimony and all of the evidence? Or was there some magical other thing that happened here? And that magical other thing that happened was that Donald Trump was just sort of out of it and didn't get in the weeds of like who he's paying money to? Boy, I don't know. Like, and again, this is maybe overly literal for me or the way that I think, but I have found myself, if I'm looking for reasonable doubt as a juror in good faith, I do need some alternate theory that I can hang on a little bit.
So Chris Hayes, for me, does make
quite an interesting point, for the simple fact is that, go back to what Hope Hicks was saying, that she was calling Michael Cohen the fixer, but more significant, her own words were, Michael Cohen wasn't the sort of person that would do anybody a favour. He didn't splash the cash, throw money around. He would not spend one single dollar unless he knew he was going to get that dollar back. It wasn't like, oh, he's feeling very generous here. Let's bail out his then boss, former guy, out of a very sticky situation. Clearly not. And you have to bear in mind with Hope Hicks, okay, and I think this is for me, it's not David Packer, it's Hope Hicks. Hope Hicks was in charge of everything. Literally, she knew times, dates, where it happened, and you could tell that when she was in court, she was really quite upset about everything. And what's fascinating, Todd Blanche, what a lawyer, during his summarization and, before they rested the case for the defense, didn't mention anything she had to say once. Not once, which is really strange.
The question here for this jury is just, is Donald Trump guilty in a falsifying business records scheme that was entered into in order to corruptly affect an election? And that may be, for the jury, a complicated question.
Lawrence, can I just ask you, in terms of Todd Blanche's summation, a lot of reporters today described that as hard to follow, as being, because he wasn't going chronologically, the way the sort of exhaustive summation from the prosecution went, that Blanche's summation was sometimes hard to know what he was getting at, what point he was trying to make, other than going liar, liar, liar at Michael Cohen and trying to make the fact that Michael Cohen has been proven to lie, something that should be fatal to the case. Was it in fact hard to follow?
Well, listen, I've watched an awful lot of criminal lawyers in my life trying and struggling to defend a guilty client. That's what it looks like. There's no good way. There's no easy way. I don't see how Todd Blanche could have done any better, actually, in his summation today, given the facts that he's loaded down with, given the complexities that he failed to deal with. And the DA pointed out this point that I've been making steadily about the defense argument, which is that it's an argument in conflict with itself. Because the defense argument is Michael Cohen was paid this big paycheck in 2017, and it had nothing to do with reimbursement of the $130,000 to Stormy Daniels. But we know, and the defense knows, that the calculation of how much he would be paid was based on a document handwritten by Alan Weisselberg that includes the $130,000.
Kind of interesting. Robert De Niro versus Jason, that guy that doesn't pay his child maintenance. I'm in bed, sorry, I'm sick. Something that's really funny. De Niro is clearly there to trigger all of the Trumpy Trumps and those on social media who have got nothing to write about on a Monday. Playing Trump probably at his own game. The thing that's crazy, they're swearing, shouting and all of that stuff. And they really think, if it was the other way around, that Trump would be there, running to their defense. As Howard Stern said a long time ago, the thing the Magas don't get is he doesn't give two flying Fs about them. And there they are, doing his dirty work. To quote De Niro, see for yourself.
Democrats, you are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up. Fuck you. You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done after this guy, guys. You're done. Don't start lying on us. Fuck you! Suck my dick! Your mother should have swallowed me!
We're trying to be gentlemen in this world, the Democrats. You are gangsters. Excuse me. You are gangsters. You're washed up. Fuck you.
You're trash! You're done! You're done after this, my guy!
Robert De Niro punched Donald Trump in the face! Fuck you, De Niro! You're a fucking mook, M-O-O-K, mook! You're a traitor to Italian and Jews! You're a traitor to Italian Jews, you fucking cunt! Cunt! You ain't cunt! Bobby De Niro, you're a fucking cunt! Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit!